Hello everyone, it's me, and I'll be discussing about the purpose of operating systems. So, I'm going to explain what the functions of an operating system is, and I'll give some examples of the operating systems that are common in today's world, or in this modern day, I would say. So, what is an operating system? So, this is the most important software which runs the whole computer, and without it, nothing will actually work and is responsible for all the hardware and software. So it basically functions both hardware and software to make sure it's working to the best degree, basically. So the purpose of an operating system, it manages all the hardware and software and the computer's memory. Also, the operating system allows the user to communicate with the computer without you understanding its language. So you don't really need to be a computer expert in order to understand. You don't need to understand what the computer's trying to say. You just use the computer in a more free way. You can click on anything, apps, you can type things in, whatever. You don't have to learn computer's language, basically. Another function of an operating system that it boots when the computer system is turned off completely, and it reboots by using the operating system to restart the computer. So I know sometimes people complain about operating systems always turning off and rebooting. Sometimes the system needs to update or calibrate so they can so it could be more, I think it could be faster or much more. I think it makes the insides of the computer will operate more quickly, because if, if it doesn't calibrate or turn off, that means that the computer can have problems with its some of the hardware that's inside, like the RAM. It can have problems with that, and maybe the CPU and other factors that could happen, really. So the operating system provides file management by manipulating, storing, and retrieving and saving data. It allows the user to perform tasks such as moving folders, renaming files, copying, pasting files into different locations, and deleting them. So it allows you to do those type of things too, different tasks without that. You can do whatever you like, basically. So the most common one, the most everyday operating system is Windows. So it was developed by Microsoft Corporation, and most PCs use Windows, as I said, as the operating system. And like I said, another thing I said is that it's used every single day, which is obviously, it must be true. Otherwise, why not? What else they're going to use? But I will come to that in a second. So the first ever one was simply an application run on an IBM based system called MS DOS. Nowadays, there are different series of Windows operating systems which are user friendly and easy to access in many businesses, such as schools and offices. So I said this is like the everyday operating system. It's the most common one. I think it's the most basic as well, because most people know how to use Windows. So Macintosh, otherwise known as Mac, is an operating system which was developed and created by Apple, which is a company that chose not to follow IBM. So this operating system is used by professionals to design and create projects such as architecture and for art, but it can be available for other users to use. Like Windows, Mac has a series of operating systems which can be available on PCs and phones, which is obviously the case now. iPhone is the iOS operating system. So it's built in, it's basically if you have a phone that's an iPhone, it's assume it's supposed to be easy for you to know to use this. I think people say they find this the most easiest one, and they find the use of it much more. It has less updates and less problems with viruses and things. I think that's why I really like using Mac. And plus, you can use it for editing and for creating anything creative. Most creative industries use Mac. And I sort of use it as well. But I don't have a Mac computer. I don't own a Mac computer, but I have used it for editing and photoshopping images and things and films. Like I'm in the film industry, so I have to use that system because Mac has their own apps as well. So DOS was originally named as an operating system which was developed by IBM, and it was the first line of business computer. It was developed by Bill Gates, who then went to set up Microsoft Corporation. So it's an old operating system which shows barely any features at all and only shows commands if you want to go onto an application. Unlike other operating systems, it is not user friendly. So basically, it's just basically coding. You need to be a good programmer to know how to use DOS. But I don't think it's really common now. Only if you have a very old, heavy computer, like the old fashioned ones that you see in like a lot of films that were around during the 80s and 70s and things. I think I always tend to laugh when I see those computers, because nowadays we have these computers that are super quick and super easy to use, and this is one of the toughest. I think you need to be good at code or learn how to program in order to in order in order for you to be able to use this operating system. I don't think it's really common nowadays. So a command line operating system is an interface that allows the user to interact with the computer by typing in commands with the keyboard instead of a mouse. So basically, it's a bit like programming, like I said previously. It's a bit like the DOS operating system. So if you type a command to a computer, it should understand what command it has been given. So this type of operating system is not easy to use because it doesn't have many features for the users to see. You just have to type in codes, which is why people do not find it user friendly. So it's not for the everyday person basically, because you have to learn code, as I said. And if you want to sign up to coding courses, I assume there are programs out there, maybe on LinkedIn, or there's one that I nearly signed up to with Just IT. You might have to sign up to something if you want to learn code. That's I think that would be the courses. You need to find courses that do that. I hope they're free, but I'm not sure. You can tell me down in the comments. So DOS is one of the operating systems which provides command line. So annoyingly, it doesn't really have any icons or features to help you be able to use. You just need to learn how to type in code. So GUI stands for graphical user interface, which was developed in 1981. Later in 1983, Apple developed the first computer which had GUI operating systems. So this operating system would allow users to actually see the icons in the computer by clicking on the mouse for navigation, which is unlike command line operating system. Compared to command line, this is actually user friendly because the user can see what they are doing, which is why I think people know how to use computers now. And anyone can use a computer, even your grandparents. Like my grandma, she can use a computer anyway. Because I've slightly taught her how to use a computer or phone. Because she knows she's more familiar with the phone than the computer. But I assume it kind of fits because you see icons, you know what to click on, and things like that. Device drivers are a group of software files which enables more than one hardware device to be able to communicate with the computer's operating system. So the devices are called associated drives because they are connected to make them work with the operating system. So there are hardwares that are made to function with the operating system. Operating system can't run on its own without hardware. So this is the reason for that, I would say. So I hope you like this video. I hope you get some understanding from it. So, and here are the references if you need any form of reference. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.